Let's start off in a child's pose. So I'll meet you there. Take your time coming down. Maybe give your hips a little wiggle. Okay, especially when the weather is cold, our muscles are going to get really tight and thick. And it's important that we spend a little extra time just warming and moving things around before we move ourselves around too much. So settle in, start breathing deeply. Huge inhales. Huge exhales. Spend some nice time just inflating and then expanding and then contracting your whole belly and your whole chest. Feel the muscles working. The muscles expanding. The muscles contracting. Connect to that strength in your belly. And then let's fire up the pelvic floor as well. Okay, feel free to get that involved in your breath. Thinking of the whole abdominal cavity being enclosed on all sides by really strong muscle. Let's start to move in this child's pose. First, reach out your hands and get your arms really strong. So think about driving your shoulder blades down your back so you have a really long neck. Okay, I like to think of a giraffe neck here rather than a turtleneck. So elbows lifting slightly off the mat. I want you to just hover them, okay? Hover them as you pull on your hands. So I want you to keep a really strong tiger claw hand here. Feel your armpits and your chest spreading open. It should feel good. And we'll start to move. So with your inhale, pull on your tiger claw hands on the mat. Lift your heart up and balance it just over your thumb. So you're arching your spine into a cow pose. And with your exhale, come back to your child's. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale into your arched spine, cow posture. Lift, pull your heart. I want you to use your strong pulling muscles. And exhale, pull it, push it back. So let's take a few more breaths like this, please. Feel the nice movement in your spine. We have a big extension as you strengthen the back of your body. So the back body is doing that. Front body is opening. And when you round, when the spine is flexing, your back body is opening up and your front body is working. Keep your arms strong, okay? Like you're really trying to pull on the ground. The more you can activate that pulling movement, the more opening you'll get in your armpits. Maybe 3 more times. Two more strong arms. One more. And hold here for a few breaths. Lift your belly button away from the floor as you pull the heart forward. And try to get all this extension to roll into your upper back. One more big breath in. And then tuck your toes, hover your knees just off the mat. Okay, little challenge. So if this is too much, okay, just keep your knees hovering. Then you can drop one knee. Try just dropping one first, and then dropping two if you really need two knees. But I do want you to challenge yourself. So breathe here and push the floor away. Lift your belly up and in. And think of lengthening your heart towards your thumbs. Elbows pull inward, just like you're in a plank or a down dog. And breathe. So you can stay right here, or we can add some movement, okay? I like to step one leg back like it's in a high plank, and then bring it back to hover. Other leg steps back, bring it back to hover. Let's try a few times. Step and hover. Keep breathing. Step, hover. Again. Okay, feel your core getting warm, your back, your arms, your legs. Building some warmth. Let's do 3 more on each side. Two more. Last one. And I'll get you off your wrists, I promise. Okay, lift your hips. Walk your feet to your hands. And let's just take a moment to hang and swing. So grab your elbows. Really bend your knees. Let the low back hang. All right, we'll start to sway one leg, sway. So bending one leg at a time. Okay, notice how it feels to let your weight kind of swing over by one leg, swing over by the other. And then drop just your fingertips down in front of you and rock under your toes and then onto your heels. Heels up, toes up. And do that a few more times. Forward. Just getting your feet warmed up, spreading your toes, using all your foot muscles. Okay, come up onto your toes. Now I have a challenge for you. I have a funky challenge. Bend your knees and sit your hips close to your heels. So you're just on your tippy toes. And if you want to, you can step your feet closer together or farther away. But find a little tippy toe kneeling position, okay? A toe stand. So start to find some equilibrium here to where you can just come up to your fingertips, maybe having your fingertips very close to where your toes are, okay? Keeping those heels up, and you can always drop your fingers in front if you need a break. But if it's feeling pretty good, maybe one hand comes up to rest on your knee, and see if you could try to sit up nice and tall. And then maybe 2 hands come to rest on your knees, okay? So this is the toe stand, and take a few moments just to play with it. If you feel wobbly, use your fingers to catch you, but allow yourself to wobble rather than just giving up because it's wobbly. Enjoy the wobble. Find a nice spot to stare at and just breathe. Okay, notice what's going on in your feet, your legs. Try to keep your knees together and keep your tailbone pointing straight down. So if everything's going great, you can reach your hands up here. And if you have one hand down, maybe just one hand goes up. Okay, maybe you switch sides. Other hand down, other hand up. Ooh, enjoy the wobble. Okay, maybe 3 more long, slow breaths in your toe stand. If you're feeling pretty good here and you want some challenge, push against the floor so that your hips hover just above your knees. Whew. Our hips hover just above your heels. One more breath here. And let it go. Drop your fingertips down in front again. Lift your hips. Whew. Go ahead and walk out your legs now. Backs of the legs should be very warm. Okay, let's roll it up. So with your inhale, press into your heels. Roll yourself up tall. Think of lifting your heart. Exhale here, drop into your chair squat. So knees together, tailbone dropping toward the earth. Look up at your hands. Inhale back up to standing. And then let's do some cactus arms here. Exhale as you drop your elbows and lift your heart to the ceiling. Again, inhale to standing. Exhale to your squat. Let's do it again. Inhale, cactus, or stand up, cactus arms coming up. For your exhale, drop those elbows, lift your heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach up tall as you stand, lifting that heart. Exhale into that chair squat. Now let's hold this one. Okay, hold and breathe. I want to get your legs warm. So I'm just going to turn slightly to show you that your legs are squeezing toward each other, but there could be a little bit of space if you want, but they are moving inward. Tailbone pointing down at the ground. Pull your belly button back and in for your chair squat and hold. Breathe here. See if you can make your feet extra strong, lifting your toes and your arches. Maybe drop a little lower. Make a longer neck. Okay, I like to think of holding a yoga ball here and just moving it back a little bit, opening up the heart and chest. One more big breath in. And we're letting it go, all fingers and then palms down on the ground. Okay, we're gonna step it back to a plank. So big breath in, step it back to your plank. Then exhale, find your downward facing dog here. Walk out your heels. Shake it off. So we just got the legs pretty warm. So downward facing dog should feel really good. And you might have some nice space to drop the heels toward the ground. Okay, and you can always modify bending the knees if you need to, or just dropping to hands and knees if you need a break. All right, and then let's enjoy a little deepening of this stretch. So you can play around with rocking some extra weight into your left hand here and just coming up on your right fingertips. Feel the weight equally in the back of your body, okay, both feet equally weighted. The left hand now taking all of the weight of your upper body. Maybe you could lift the right fingers and reach them for the outside of the left leg anywhere. So you can grab the knee, outside of the left knee, all the way down to the ankle or the heel if you like. And breathe here. Continue to push all your hips back. Feel a lot of length in your spine, a great stretch across the back of your body, and maybe, if you feel good here, you can start to look under that left elbow toward the ceiling, but keep your tailbone pointed back. Allow that left shoulder blade to just slide down your back. Should feel really nice in your back and shoulders. One more breath here. And then we're bringing that right hand back to the floor out in front. Pause here, start to put a lot of weight in that right hand. Send that tailbone back away in the opposite direction, and then left fingertips. Maybe they lift. And begin to find a place on the outside of the right leg, wherever you like. I like to grab the heel. Let your head hang. And remember to point that tailbone away. Out into the sky. Maybe look at the ceiling under that right arm. One more nice breath here, friends. And release that left hand back to the floor. Whew. Inhale here, come up on your tippy toes. And with your exhale, hop it or step it to your hands and fold, hugging your legs towards you. Inhale here, roll yourself up. Find a standing, lifted heart. And exhale, drop your hands down in front of you. So we're going to stay up standing for a little while. I want to play around in a tree posture, so I'll just turn to face you, but we're in the same position. Okay, rock some extra weight into your right foot here. You can just come up on your left tippy toes. Okay, so just a little lifted, or right tippy toes, sorry. So you have all the weight in your left foot, you're on your right tippy toes. And just start to feel your left foot taking control as it roots into the ground. You want to lift those left toes, kind of spread them, lift that left arch, and think of your leg strength as a line of energy that sucks up the center of your leg. Strong hip, so your tailbone points down. So I want you to root before the right toes even leave the ground, okay? So rooting down through that left leg, a line of energy. Pull your belly button in, lift your heart, and drop your shoulders. And some people like to put their hands together here. Some people like them up. And I just kind of want you to explore. It's really whatever you like, okay? So just start to lift that right toe off the ground. Maybe put it on your left ankle to start. And very nicely, externally rotate that right hip. Make it really wide and rotate it outward so that the knee points out to the right. And we can stay here and just breathe. And I want to encourage you to embrace any kind of wobbly feeling that you have. Just let it in. It's just part of the experience. So don't fight it. Feel free to always put the right toe down on the floor at any time. So if you're feeling pretty good here, you can start to slide the right foot up to your calf. Point that tailbone down. Let this feel nice in your hips here. If you want to take the right foot higher, that's great. You can just slide it up to the inside of your left thigh. Just please skip the knee, okay? Or please avoid pressing on the inside of that knee joint. Okay, but if you have that right heel up by your hips and it's pressing into your left inner thigh, push into the inner thigh. So actively push your own leg with your own foot and get that great tuck in your tailbone, okay? Maybe grow your arms. Maybe even flip your palms up to the sky. So if you want a little bit more here, you can play with taking this right foot to the inner crease of your left hip. So we call it a half lotus. And you can just tuck that foot right there in that left hip crease. Okay? You can even reach your right hand behind your back and try to find it. Try to find the right foot. And reach your left hand behind your back and grab your right hip. And there's so many more shapes you can make here. But whatever shape you're making, I know we've been here for a long time. So see if you could come out exactly the same way you came in. Move through all the steps that you moved through. Whew. Once you ground that right foot, shake out the left, okay? Take a moment here, just stick the left leg out behind you. Send your arms back behind and think of diving your heart forward toward the floor, slow motion. Allowing yourself to just hinge at the hip. Come through a warrior three. Let's spend a few moments here. Balancing now on that right leg that was up in the air for so long. Lifting up the left. Warrior three, hips squared off with the ground. Maybe the arms reach forward. One more breath here in your warrior. And then go ahead and drop your fingertips to the floor. Drop your head and shoulders, just shake it out. And maybe put a little bend in your right knee. And we're gonna stay here in a standing split for a few breaths. So lift that left leg and make it strong and long. Breathe through your nose, keep the breath coming. And let's level the hips off here. Let's make sure they're nice and square. Okay, maybe walk your fingers so they're really close to your right foot. Maybe hold your right ankle with one or two hands. But if you feel that wobble here, embrace it. There's really nothing wrong with that. So just allow your body to work all the little stabilizer muscles. Allow the right leg to work. Feel that same line of energy shooting down through the right leg and out the center of the left. All right, one more big breath here. Maybe lift that left leg a little higher without lifting the hip. And then let it go. Step the left leg down on the floor behind you. Go ahead and drop your hands on either side of that right foot. You're going to want to bend the right knee a lot here. And then let's bring it up and back to a 3-leg dog. So inhale here. Right leg up and out behind you. Lift it as high as you like. And exhale. Drop it back to a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, so we're really doing some nice warming in the legs. So walk them out. Use that warmth. And then up on your tippy toes here. Exhale and hop or step to your hands. Fold. Roll it up on your inhale. Reach up tall. And exhale, hands down by your heart. And let's do the other side. So I'll turn to face you again. So here we'll do the opposite side. Rocking weight into the right foot. Come up on the left tippy toes. Okay, and with any standing posture, but especially with a one-leg standing posture, it's so important to get your center and all your strength straight because you really are going to need it. So belly button in, okay, activate your core, push down, a line of energy pushing down through the right leg, lifting that arch and lifting the toes. So we have a really strong structure in the bony foot parts. And then the left toes can come to the right ankle. Stay strong, and then get that really nice external rotation in the left hip. Ah, isn't that nice? Drop your shoulders and breathe. Maybe lift the foot up to your calf, your left calf, your left foot to your right calf. Allow the legs to wobble. The right leg's gonna wobble. Maybe we pull the left foot up to the right thigh and you really step on it. Really step on yourself here. Push in the leg. Notice how that feels. Okay, maybe you have something fun going on with your arms here. Maybe we try a half lotus with the left foot tucked in the right hip crease. Okay, and I want to invite you to stay here long enough that that right leg gets really warm, okay? And if you have to hold onto the wall, like I just did, you can just touch the wall and use it to balance. That's great too. A chair, a table, whatever, okay? Maybe reach the left hand behind your back. Maybe reach the right hand behind your back. See if you could point your tailbone down. Okay, friends, see if you could come out the same way you came in, just reversing slowly. Once that left foot hits the floor, shake out the right leg. Okay, we're gonna hinge at the hips here, lifting that right leg up and out behind, slow motion. Okay, dropping through a warrior 3, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. Okay, now have the hands forward, stepping into that left foot, which we had crept up the right leg, hips down, big breath. Feel free to bend the left knee a lot or a little, but strengthen that right leg. Okay, maybe fingers to the ground. Now starting to transition into standing split. So rock that right hip down and under. Lift the right leg without lifting the hip. And put your fingers very close to your left foot. Okay, find that strong line of energy pushing down through the left leg, lifting the arch, and then maybe 1 or 2 hands on the left leg. I like to play around with challenging myself to reach one hand up and the other hand up sometimes. Just find a fun shape that is challenging, but also fascinating. Okay, these postures are great because we have to fully immerse ourselves in the moment just to stay balanced, okay? The postures themselves become an act of meditation. One more breath here in your standing split. All right, we're coming down with the hands, down with the right foot behind you. And let's transition to a 3-leg dog from here. So inhaling that left leg up and out behind. And exhale, drop the left foot. Let's take a few breaths here. Pedal out your legs. Notice the backs of your legs. Start to push into your hands and draw the elbows toward each other. So feel the shoulder blades slide down your back. Activate your quads here. So lift the kneecaps up away from the floor. Toes up, heels down. Finding a lot of nice strength here in downward facing dog now that we're super warm. Okay, up here on your tippy toes, big breath in. And exhale, hop it or step it to your hands and fold. Take a nice moment here to just hug your legs and hang and swing. Make sure the back of your neck, the backs of your shoulders are soft and spacious. All right, from here, palms down on the ground. Go ahead and come down to your knees. Okay, take your hands wide. Take your knees wide. Let's just circle out hips and shoulders over hands and knees. So just making a big kind of revolving tabletop movement here. Just getting your shoulders and your hips softer, warmer. You might feel some cracks and pops. And then keep your hands a little bit wide, but bring your knees back into center. And then come down to a cobra with your hands kind of wide. So we'll just experiment and play a little bit. Okay, we did some great work in legs, and we're gonna let them kind of rest here for a little while. It's strengthening the back body a little bit more. So grip your tiger claw hands. You can rest your head if you want. Just rest your head while you grip. So pressing down into your fingertips, think of the center of your palm suctioning up. I like to think of the palm as kind of a suction cup shape or a donut shape, where the center is lifted, but the edges press down. So even if you don't feel like that's actually happening, just think about it. Think about an energetic feel, and that's where you'll start. Okay, so gripping, keep the elbows inward and skimming off the floor as you inhale, pulling your heart up. So we have like a wider cobra here. And exhale, roll it down. So let's take a few more cobras like that. Inhaling, pull yourself up. Exhale, roll it down. And you only need to go as far up as you like, right? You might have a very subtle, kind of gentle lift that you only come a few inches up off the floor. Okay, and you might just start to grow that lift, or you might just keep it small. So I want you to feel like each time you lift up, your spine unrolls and uncurls. Tension melting off the front of your body. So let's take a few more cobras. Think of pointing that tailbone down at the ground. And lifting your sternum. Use your strong glutes here. Maybe one more. Okay, next time you come down, pause here. You can just rest your hands, rest your forehead on the floor for a moment. And then really point your tailbone at the ground. So you can think of it as lifting your belly button and pointing your tailbone down at the same time. And you're going to feel that your core is turned on, okay? The pelvic floor is engaged. We're really set up for some back extension. So from there, could you just lift your nose an inch off the floor? And breathe. Feel the muscles of your back working and breathing. Maybe float your palms here. See if you need to lift your belly button again and point your tailbone down again if they got a little clocked off. If you can still keep your tailbone down and your belly button lifted, hover your legs and keep breathing. Maybe swim your hands back behind you and maybe interlace your fingers. See if you can put your big toes together as you hover. And then start to move your hands back towards your feet. Just slowly peeling your chest away from the floor. Keep breathing. Keep that belly button lifting. Think of breathing space and ease into the whole front of the body. Maybe lifting your hands toward the ceiling for the last few breaths here. Breathe into the front of your shoulders. 2 more breaths. Breathe into your neck, your throat. 1 more. And then release all the way down to the mat. Release your hands. Drop your forehead. Take a moment just to enjoy all that warmth that you created. And then take your arms into a cactus shape from here, and we'll get a great shoulder stretch now. So go ahead and look out at your right arm. Okay, both arms are in cactus shape at right angles at the elbow. And then your right hand next to your face can roll you onto your left side. And you want to keep that left arm bent out there just like it was. Okay, once you're on your left side, then you can start to slide the left elbow up or down to make the angle in your shoulder feel just right. So please adjust it here. Make it feel just right, just the right amount of opening across your left shoulder and chest and armpit. And then you tuck that left knee up and in. And you can kind of prop yourself here and breathe. So this is a really great shoulder stretch. All across your chest. If it's ever too much, you can drop your right shoulder back toward the floor and just get out of it, okay? But you notice that the more you lift and rotate open that right shoulder, the more you get into the left. So use that to create the perfect experience here. Use your breath. Breathe into the left rib cage. Expand it. If you start to feel like you want more here and you want to use this opportunity to open up more in the left shoulder, then you have options to do that. Try to press down more into your left hand than you were before. So actively resist the floor with your left hand. Push down. Notice how that feels in your shoulder. on your chest. You can also reach up with the right hand, like you're trying to, almost like you want to give someone a hug. You can even drop the right arm across your back and tuck the right hand under your left side. I'll take a few more breaths here. Start to untangle yourself from this posture slowly. You have so much time to transition back through center, straightening your legs. Take a moment just to let circulation return to the left shoulder. Notice how it feels. And then let's switch sides. So find some cactus arms here. Okay, looking out to the left now. Use your left fingers to roll into your right side. And then take a moment to slide the right elbow up or down, making it feel just right. I'll turn around to meet you, face you. So take some time with the right elbow. It might be totally different from the left. Okay, as a matter of fact, it probably is. If you're right-handed, this might be really tense, okay? It's always really tense for me. So once you're ready to commit, tuck that right knee up and in, and then it holds you here. And you could just rest your left foot on the floor, okay? You don't have to hold up the left leg. And just breathe. Just let the posture do the work. You can make this really passive and really relax into it if you want to, okay? More of a restorative posture. Or if you want to use the opportunity to open up that right shoulder, you can. Either way, breathe. If you want to open it up a little bit, start to press down with the right hand. Push the floor. Push the floor. And then notice how that allows the right shoulder to open up. You can also use the left fingers to push down into the floor, reach up, or drop behind your back. And take some more breath here. One more breath. Fill that rib cage. And then we'll let it go. Take your time. There's no rush. Transition back to your belly. Take a moment. Notice how your shoulders feel. From here, hands back underneath shoulders. Come on up to hands and knees. Okay, and finishing up this heart opening, chest opening feel that we were just cultivating, this is a good time for us to try some open heart posture. So hands over, what are these? Hips over your knees, hands out far away from your knees. Drop your forehead. And this is where open heart posture can start, okay? It's kind of a spectrum that you can move through. So I'll show you the spectrum. So you just want to start to gently resist the floor with your hands if it feels all right. And feeling some nice opening in your chest and armpits and heart and even throat. And if it's enough, you just rest your forehead and breathe right here. If you want more, you'll start to drop your chin toward the floor and look at your hands. Remembering to breathe and point that tailbone away from your head. If it's still not enough and you want more opening, you can come up on your fingertips, lifting your palms and lifting your elbows. And you can think of dropping your throat toward the floor. Big breath. Remember to keep a long neck. Maybe one more breath wherever you are in your open heart pose. And start to walk yourself back up out of it. Hands walk back in by your knees. Okay, from here, bring your knees together. Sit back onto your heels. And we're coming back to a child's pose to rest, okay, and finish this practice. So come on down with your head. And allow yourself to rest here. Just being still. Allowing your hips to settle in. Okay. And we'll finish off just with one little twist here. Just sliding your right arm underneath your left. Drop that right shoulder. Maybe your left hand comes to your right. Big breath in your twist. Feel the rib cage inflate as you inhale. Belly button compresses inward as you exhale. Come back through center as you're ready and just switch sides. Left arm under right, left shoulder down. Maybe hands together. Look to the right. Couple more really long, slow, deep breaths here. Move your torso. Okay, let's bring all things back to center. Come back to your child's pose. And let's truly let go now. Just finding no more tension, no more effort in the body. Allow your breath to come effortlessly and almost involuntarily. friends, this is where I'll leave you today. So please keep resting as long as you can. And thanks so much for practicing with me today.